Everybody, it's JB here with another episode. This is episode 3 of the Burnley career mode, and we're going to show 2 games today. We're going to sim this match away at Wolves, but we are going to do 2 games today, and the games that we're going to be showing highlights of are Ipswich Town away in the Capital One Cup, and then a real Lancashire hot pod of the derby to finish August on against Preston North End. So we're going to sim the Wolves match to start with, because that's we started the day with 7 points, so this is how we would go. Let's see how we go against Wolves today. We lost to 2 goals from Edwards and Graham, so we've suffered our first setback of the season, so we've lost 2-0, so it puts a little bit of pressure on that local derby with Preston. So let's see where we are now in terms of player development as well, before we look at the table. These are the 5 players we've got. We've got Gray, obviously, he's a young lad still, and we want him to improve a bit. Tom Heaton, our goalkeeper. Michael Keane, a promising young... Michael Keane, as everyone knows, is a promising centre-back. Marcus Rashburn and Pereira, we've both got from Manchester United at the moment. We'll be looking, hopefully, to make a couple more signings. We'll just train them up, see how they go on. By the way, I'm playing this on... playing this on semi-pro or pro. I don't play it on amateur mode, because 1 or 2 people have asked, do you play it on, what mode do you play it on? And my answer to that is professional or semi-pro, because I have played FIFA for a little bit now, and amateur is too easy, I have to be honest. But I mean, the reason why I probably end up winning so easily is because basically I do make my teams a lot better and a lot more better statistically, so that's probably the reason why people would question it. But there you are. That's my answer to that. Well, let's just quickly look at the league table before we go into cup tie mode, because obviously it's the... So that defeat has taken us down to 8th position. QPR are still leading with 10 points. Derby replaced us in 2nd with 8 points. There's 3 teams on 8 points. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, and Fulham being the other 2. And then come Brentford, Wolves, Reading, Burnley. So we're sort of joint 5th, if you like, but we are in 8th place. Birmingham, the other team there, I didn't mention that, have 7 points. So it's early days yet as far as the table goes. But let's get over to Portman Road, where we do some some League Cup action today, and here's some of the fixtures from the League Cup, of course. That was round 2. This is round 2. Bournemouth, and the other games as well as ours. We've got Bournemouth against Colchester, Cardiff, Hartlepool, Charlton and Manchester United, Chesterfield, Fleetwood, Palace against Accrington, Everton versus Chelsea, Gillingham against Sheffield Wednesday, Mansfield, Norwich, Morecambe, Bury, Oxford, West Ham, Preston versus Wolves, QPR against Exeter City, Sheffield United against Portsmouth, Walsall against Birmingham, a bit of a local derby there, West Brom against Derby County, Wycombe, Doncaster, Brighton, Forest, obviously ourselves away at Ipswich, that's coming up in a second, Liverpool versus Northampton, Man City against Plymouth, Middlesbrough against Blackburn, Millwall against Brentford, Southampton versus Burton Albion, and finally Swansea City take on Rochdale. So it's to Portman Road we go, as Ipswich and Burnley take on each other for a place in the 3rd round. The best of the action now from Portman Road. And welcome to Portman Road as Ipswich and Burnley line up. For Ipswich, Reddy Sears leads their line with Kevin Brewing behind. And a very strong side there with Fraser and Feeney on the wings. For Burnley, it's the same team, same 11 that started a defeat against Wolves, looking to put things right after a dreadful result there at Molineux. Can they put things right here in this 2nd round League Cup tie tonight? 5 minutes gone. Here's Skews to Kazuton, on to Sears. Jamal played it in, but Hughes was there. Good ball in there, and a chance here now for Marcus Rashford. Oh, he's in it straight at the goalkeeper. What an opportunity that was for Burnley to take an early lead there, but again, good goalkeeper, but he's still not over yet. The goal kicker's fallen, but Gray shoots, and he's hit the stanchion at the back. What a good start there from Burnley, yielding a couple of early chances here in this 2nd round cup tie, and just pulling the shot agonisingly wide. Good atmosphere inside Portman Road. Neither team have actually won the League Cup in their history. Ipswich have reached the semi-final before in 85. Burnley's most recent semi-final was 2009 as Hughes shoots just wide of the target. Hughes again. Last seconds of the first, coming up to the walls, the last knockings of the first half. This is Rashford left with skill, and Rashford shoots, and Malakowski had to get down well to save it. It was a really good bit of goalkeeping there by the Ipswich Town keeper. Rashford hit this true with his right foot, and it was just dipping a little bit low there, which made it a little bit difficult for the goalkeeper to get down there and actually make the save. So it will be a Burnley corner. Scott Arfield to take it. Again with the right foot, and ahead of him, great save again, and then Fraser somehow scrambling it almost off the line, and here's Brew on to Sears, and now Ipswich can start the counter-attack. We're into the last seconds of the first half, and here's Jamal now for Ipswich, and he's got away from the defender Loughton, and it puts a lovely ball in, hitting with a fist away, but not very far. Fraser knocking it in there, Feeney's in there too. Still a chance there, and a chance, and Jamal knocks it over, and that's the last knock-ins of the first half, which was a really good, well, there wasn't too much incident apart from the last few moments, but Burnley have come closer, although Jamal at the end should have scored for Ipswich, and at half-time in this cup tie, it remains goalless at half-time. And that's a good ball by Hughes to Gray, 2 minutes into the second half. Here's Boyd. Hughes has just shaking off the advances of Scouse, and that's a good strike. Oh, he's in the crossbar! What a glorious effort from Will Hughes, who's having a tremendous match in midfield. Hit this superbly well, and it's smashed off the top of the crossbar. And that's won by Keane, but given away to Scouse. Little chip forward, and here's Fraser in a bit of space. Danger here for Burnley, still Fraser, and still Fraser, and still, and he hits it into the Burnley fans behind the goal here at Portman Road. What an opportunity there for Ipswich Town, and Fraser turned one defender in and out the other, and he, in the end, with his left-footed shot, it just failed to match the great skill that was there in the first place. But a really good move there from Ipswich, really the best we've seen of them so far in the second half. As Barton comes forward to find Hughes, and here's Hughes now, trying another shot, and only just wide again. 2 chances within 60 seconds. Here's May. That's a good ball, and here's Arfield. We're just 18 minutes potential away from extra time if there's no scoring. Good ball in, Gray's headed it in! But the flag has gone up for offside. Andre Gray thought he put Burnley in front, but the linesman's flag on the near side says he was offside. And he was right. Barton, Hughes, who's been here, there and everywhere, and he's got Gray away on the far side, and Hughes is making a good run towards the penalty spot. Rashford far post towards Hughes, and that is the goal that everyone's been looking for. Well, Hughes is breaking the deadlock with a quarter of an hour of this match to go. Burnley 1, Ipswich 0 at Portman Road, and it was an easy goal for Will Hughes. 79 minutes gone, and surely that's the cup tie settled. Here come Ipswich looking to try and get back into it. Loughton with a ball away, but Fraser picks the ball up. Cunson plays that in. Scouse is in there. Real danger here for Burnley. Scouse can't keep the shot down. And Ipswich now wasting good opportunities to get back into this game and maybe force an extra half an hour of this. That's knock-ins. Ball forward towards Berra. Ipswich haven't got a lot of time. Here's Fraser. This has got to be the last attack now. Fraser, good tackle there by Rashford, and no, it will be no more. Burnley will go through to the third round of the Capital One Cup after a hard-fought victory over Ipswich, who really ran them close here at Portman Road tonight. But Burnley get away with a victory. The winning goal coming after 79 minutes from Will Hughes, an easy header from no more than 5 yards out. He had a stormy night, and he was certainly my man in the match. So the final score then in his high-octane second round Capital One Cup match this evening is finished Ipswich Town 0, Burnley 1, in a real classic here at Portman Road. So a victory there for Burnley, and I'm very delighted that we got through. Other results then from round 2 of the Capital World Cup, and we'll give you the third round draw. So Bournemouth for 3-3-1, Cardiff beat Hartlepool 4-0, Charlton narrowly lost to Manchester United, Chesterfield put 2, Fleetwood 1, Palace 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Big shock down at Goodison Park though. Everton 3, Chelsea 3. Great game there. And Everton winning on penalties. Gillingham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Mansfield 0, Norwich 3, Morecambe 2, Bury 3. West Ham are out, being put out 2-1 by Oxford United. Preston, who played Burnley on Saturday, were beaten by Wolves 2-1. QPR 2, Exeter 1, Sheffield United 1, Portsmouth 1, the Blaze prevailing 4-3 on penalties. Walsall 1, Birmingham 2, Big Midlands derby won by Birmingham of course. West Brom 3, Derby County 1, Wycombe 2, Doncaster 3, Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 0. As you saw, Ipswich 0, Burnley 1, Liverpool 2, Northampton Town 0, Manchester City 3, Plymouth 1, Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 1, Millwall 1, Brentford 2, Southampton 2, Burton Albion 0, and finally Swansea City 2, Rochdale 3 at the Liberty. So some interesting results there in the second stage of the Capital One Cup. Now the draw has been made for the third round. Let's have a look at that. And there it is. Here are the draw in full. Birmingham's reward is a home match with Norwich. Bournemouth play Liverpool. Brentford take on Blackburn. Brighton against Cardiff. Bury versus Chesterfield. Crystal Palace against Manchester United. Doncaster versus Southampton. Newcastle against Sheffield Wednesday. Oxford against Stoke. Rochdale against QPR. Wolves take on Arsenal. Aston Villa versus Sunderland. Everton against Spurs, an all Premier League game there at Goodison. Manchester City against West Bromwich Albion. Sheffield United is our reward for beating Ipswich Town in the third round, and it's Watford against Leicester City completing the draw. These to league actions we go now, and Burnley lying in 8th place as for our big featured match. It's a double Lancashire derby. We're getting all the Lancashire derbies in very quickly at the start, and this one's at Turf Moor. We take on Preston North End here with an opportunity to really get back into that top 6 again. Can Burnley do it, or will Preston, who are now going into the game lying 19th at the moment, just 1 point above the relegation zone? Could they shock the Clarets today? Let's get over to Turf Moor and join it right at the start. And so here we are, Northwest derby, a Lancashire derby. Burnley lying 8th, Preston towards the bottom of the table as you can see. We turn up in great spirits and have a good squad, but Burnley looking to bounce back. They're in 8th place, but they could go back into the playoffs with a win over Preston today, their local rivals. So let's take a check on those two teams, starting of course with the Clarets. And it's the same 11 that did for Ipswich in the Capital One Cup in midweek. And of course, Rashford and Gray really settling into things as a twosome up front, leaving Sam Rokes on the bench. As for Preston North End, as the two teams do the customary handshakes before the game, they line up with a few big names in their side, well-known names. Jermaine Beckford being one, Johnson and Garner being others. Bailey Wright at centre-back, and Anders Lindegaard, the former Manchester United goalkeeper, is there as well. And it'll be a tough test for both goalkeepers. There's the visiting goalkeeper, Anders Lindegaard, side from Manchester United, and a former Man United goalkeeper at the other end, of course, Tom Heaton, who keeps goal very well for Burnley. So we're all set to go in this Lancashire derby. West Lancashire against East. It's away we go. Preston in white, getting us underway, attacking the goal to our left. Burnley, of course, need I remind you, in claret and blue. This is Rashford for Burnley. On for Hughes. Stutsy's side beaten once already in competitive games this season. Through to the third round of the Cup while they'll play Sheffield United. Here's Boyd, good early shot, and Lindegaard lost it, and a chance here for Gray, and across the face of the goal, and Woods clears. But only as far as Barton. Good pressure here for Burnley. Button shot off the crossbar! But what a superstar from the Clarets in the first few moments. Here's the shot from Button, and after two earlier chances had gone by the wayside for the Clarets. Cunningham. Johnson into Gallagher. Good play again from Preston this time. Loughton is there for Burnley. Good defence. And here's Barton now barging forward in the midfield area. That's a lovely ball to pick out Will Hughes, who was certainly man of the match last time out. That dramatic cup tie at Ipswich in midweek. This is Clark. Oh, that's a bad ball by him. And this is Rashford. And this is Hughes. Left foot, he's there! Will Hughes has done it again with the left foot, and the crowd go absolutely mad. That's two in a week for him. The winner at Ipswich in midweek, and now this. Lindegaard never saw it, never even moved, never attempted to dive. And with that trusty left foot, the former Derby player Will Hughes, who's widely tipped for England honours, has just put Burnley rather into the lead. Gray. Good tackle there by Bailey Wright, and he's got Preston moving again. Johnson onto Beckford. Now Garner. And danger here now, and a chance here for Batman, and he knocks it over Tom Eaton, but more importantly from a Burnley point of view, he knocks it over the goal frame, and over the bar it goes, to the relief of Clarets everywhere. Playing over half an hour. This is Hughes looking for runners. Couldn't pick one out, picked out Huntington instead. This is Gallagher. Oh, that's a bad ball. This is Rashford. Big chance here for Burnley. Rashford, good save. Rashford again to cross it in, and Huntington got back and denied him at the very last, and it will be a corner. Good save initially by Lindegaard to deny his old Manchester United colleague. Corner taken by Arfield. Keane with a header, injured himself. Comes to Loughton now. Right foot, 2-0! Matt Loughton! Keane with the first header was kicked off the line, and then Loughton back in. And Keane, as you can see, has probably injured himself and may well be substituted, but Loughton with a super finish into the corner with his right foot. And Burnley now have got clear element of themselves at Preston North End. It's 2-0, and as expected, Michael Keane obviously can't continue, so James Tarkowski, the man they signed from Brentford last season, will come on and replace the stricken Michael Keane, and let's hope that's not an injury that's going to be there for a very long time. But it's 2-0 to Burnley, and really that's sort of, it's a bittersweet moment for the Clarets, the joy and the euphoria, the second goal, but then the despair and disappointment of Michael Keane, one of their best centre-backs, being stricken, and they've only got a couple of days of the window to go as Garner is flagged offside, and it just sums up Preston's afternoon really in a nutshell. There it is again, and about a yard or so offside. Boyd, last seconds of the first half, can Burnley add to that lead? Gray, look at Loughton again, he's springing forward, first time cross, and Bailey Wright turned it away for a corner, and that will be the last play of the first half. Scott Arfield, whose corner led to the second goal. Here it comes again. Tarkowski with a header up the line, almost, well, cleared away rather by Cunningham. Garner heads away, and there goes the whistle, and Burnley are in complete control of this Lancashire derby. They lead by 2-0. Goals from Will Hughes and Matthew Loughton. Michael Keane, worryingly substituted because of an injury just before half time, but it's Burnley a lead Preston by 2-0. And away we go in the second half. No further changes from either side, just that one sub, of course, used by Burnley, that was enforced. James Tarkowski on. Here's Will Hughes, and Rashford can save Lindegaard, and Gray over. Well, he could have had a third there and then. Andre Gray, after Rashford's initial shot, had been saved by Lindegaard. Gallagher Johnson. Preston need to do something. Good play by Johnson. Danger here for Burnley. Just Daniel Johnson has just escaped Tarkowski's advances and tries to shoot from a very acute angle. And in the end, thankfully from a Burnley point of view, it's over the top of the crossbar. I don't think he'd have beaten Heaton from there though. That's having a good spell. This is Johnson. He's got Garner away. Ward tracking back, and Ward has absolutely brought him down, and that's surely going to be a yellow card issued by the referee. I suppose with Garner making a good purposeful break, he had to do what he had to do. I suppose Stephen Ward, referee, no hesitation, goes to his pocket to show Ward the yellow card as we go towards the hour mark here in this Lancashire derby. And it's East Lancashire leading West Lancashire by 2-0. Joe Garner and Stephen Ward having a set to it. It's Galka who's dusted himself down to take the free kick. Floated into the mix once again. Barton winning the first header. Barton getting it away. The scorer, of course, of the second goal. And here's George Boyd. It's the only one of him against two. But the support coming away. But Boyd tries it. Oh, what a goal! Well, no more needs to be said. What a goal from George Boyd, 3-0. And he just struck it with his left foot from all of 25 yards, and it looked well over Lindegaard and into the corner. It was a marvellous goal. And Burnley now have got the bragging rights. East Lancashire will triumph over West Lancashire. It's Burnley 3, it's Preston 0, George Boyd is the scorer, 63 minutes gone, and what a goal. And Preston now having to make a substitution. Daniel Johnson, who missed that chance at 2-0, is going to be replaced by Neil Kilkenny, the former Birmingham City player. And how must Preston be feeling? And there's going to be changes up on the Burnley side as well, so we believe. And it's going to be the two midfielders, Barton and Hughes is getting a standing ovation. Pereira and Jones to replace the two former Manchester United men, incidentally. And Will Hughes gets a humongous reception as well. And what a week he's had. Now Bailey Wright, 10 to play. Can Preston get a consolation? Good cross. And that was stretching Tom Heaton. Really it was. And another substitution will take place. Adam Reach, who will come on to replace Paul Huntington, who's had a disappointing afternoon at the heart of that Preston defence. So he goes off. Adam Reach, formerly at Middlesbrough, comes on, and Gallagher to take the corner. 8 to play. Burnley 3, Preston North End 0. Paul Gallagher to take the corner. Into the penalty area it goes, and a header one, and Heaton, cool as you like. It was Clark who had the header, and Heaton just kicks as long as he possibly can. Cunningham rescues it for Preston and drives them on another attack now. Beckford, it's been rather anonymous, I have to say. Here's Woods, and here's Wright, played in there, and it could go in, but it's Ward who clears away off the line, and the header comes in, and it's knocked away by Tarkowski. And here is Gray, and look at Rashford, he's onside. The Preston defence is given up. This is Marcus Rashford, he's round Lindegaard. Rashford wide, and Gray and Boyd can't make it. Oh, what an opportunity. Well, we're now playing out the last knockings. Here's Kilkenny, little chip in there. Gallagher, and Burnley Wright knocks it over, and there it is. The whistle goes, and it's bragging rights to Burnley. And then all the derbies they played competitively. They played Blackpool, of course, in the League Cup at the start. They won that pretty comfortably. Then they beat Blackburn here 2-0 in the last home game. And now they've done exactly the same to Preston. And the highlight of which was a brilliant third goal for George Boyd, adding to earlier efforts from Will Hughes and Matt Loughton. And Burnley, very comfortable winners. Preston had their chances, but just simply didn't take them on the day, and were a well beaten side. Final score then in the derby: Burnley 3, Preston. And And with that fantastic victory over Preston, it takes us back into those playoff places. 1 point behind second place Derby County and third place Fulham. We've moved into fourth now, level on points with Wolves and Birmingham. We have a better goal difference than the two Midland sides, and really it's good to see that we are back in that top six again after that little dodgy period against Wolves when we were beaten 2-0. It was important to bounce back in the right way. And what a way to end August with a smashing victory over Preston North End. And that defeat for Preston leaves them on 4 points. They're still 1 point hovering about 1 point above that relegation trapdoor, where the occupants at the moment are Charlton Athletic, Blackburn and Bristol City. Not looking good for them. Rotherham are just out of it on goal difference. They have a better goal difference. They're on +3 in basis to Charlton's +5 and Blackburn's +7. Bristol City have only scored 2 points as well, so it's anyone's really. It's still early days yet, but it's not looking good for the two other Lancashire teams in the Championship. Hull are down there in 16th place with just 2 wins and 3 losses. Not a good start for them, but it's QPR out in front with Derby second and Fulham and Burnley, Wolves and Birmingham all bunched together in the 6th place zone. And that is it for the career mode for this episode. I hope you very much enjoyed episode 3. Our next video will just feature the highlights of the one match, and that's at home to Rotherham, because we'll be dedicating the first few minutes of it to the transfer deadline day, because we'll be looking to try and bring in some new players. Of course, now that we've lost Michael Keane for 8 weeks or so because of a bad injury picked up in that game you saw against Preston when he played his part in that second goal scored by Matt Loughton. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you very soon for the transfer deadline and of course that Rotherham game. But thank you very much indeed. If you like the video, please leave a like. My Twitter address is at Stutzy83. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, to the JB Claret channel, please do. It's well worth looking at. Plenty of FIFA videos there for one or two, plenty there to enjoy, and of course we'll have all the live commentaries of the Premier League games in real life coming up, and delayed commentary of every single Burnley match in the Premier League this season. Full 90 minutes for you this season, guaranteed. Well, as I say, check out the content. There'll be FIFA 17 stuff coming up later on in the year as well. But for me, JB, thank you and goodbye to you. And we'll leave you with a blockbusting goal from George Boyd. I think it's worth seeing again. From me, JB, take care, and I'll leave you with that George Boyd extra set. From me, JB, take care. Ta-ra.